What's up, y'all? This is your boy J. Ross hanging out with my boy Vic, and we got Howard in here. But man, Vic, we've been having an eating contest, man, and look how he he just reared back, man, and Lord.
Yeah, I got through 6 of these. I can't do these 5. But J. Ross, you got one left.
Yeah, well, see, that's veggie, man. I can't eat nothing say veggie, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got to have some pork and some grease and all that. You know.
You getting small though, man.
Oh yeah, I've been worrying a lot.
Yeah.
Worry take that weight off.
Yeah,
but yeah, hey y'all, we sitting up with Vic. He got one of his yin yangs, man. He been telling me about it, but
Oh yeah.
I was thinking about robbing him, but there's too many witnesses.
That's
you
right.
know.
I would have told him.
Oh yeah, and
This one I got an ergo yin yang strap on it. They make these, I think, in Chile. No, you can't even see the yin yang. It's on this side.
what, Chile, Missouri, or Chile, Illinois? But yeah.
No, the country. And then I got a backbeat on here.
Now Vic let me try that backbeat out early, y'all. That slugger there is kind of weird though, but it's kind of freaky too. Cause whatever you hit, the thing do. It vibrates in your back, and you get the feeling.
You know, you feel it vibrate.
But
Helps me feel the bottom end. You know, when I don't have to turn up the bass as loud.
Yeah.
And I can still feel it.
But you catch yourself
Attached
tripping.
to the strap. What you say?
You catch yourself tripping one night with that sucker on, boy. Like you over at the club.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And
nice.
but yeah, man, that yang, man, some Fodera's off the chain.
Yeah, this is I think they called it now Yin Yang Deluxe or something. I don't know, but this is the way we first did the Yin Yangs back in 24 years ago. No, yeah. Next year, July 15th, I think we'll make, or June 15th or something like that. July. Anyway, it's gonna make 25 years.
Yeah.
So 24 years ago, we made the first yin yang, and the first one was actually fretless. I still have it. It's made of ebony, and the other one was a whiter wood. It was holly, ebony and holly. And the one thing about these basses, and Fodera, of course, was the first ones to do this. It's actually 2 pieces of wood put together, so it's not painted.
Man.
It's actually 2 separate pieces of wood. We got an ebony here, and I forget what this one is. Some type of a yellow.
I bet they ain't got no crazy glue on that though to hold it together, dude. And on that Gorilla Glue.
They put something on there. They know what they're doing. But it's 2 pieces of wood, so it's a lot of work. But we came out with a Yin Yang Standard bass, and the Yin Yang Standard is 1 piece of wood, but it's painted to look like this.
Yeah.
So it's not as labor intensive. Hence, it's less expensive to make.
Right.
But it's still a good bass. Still sounds good. You can get the Yin Yang Standard, or you can just get the regular standard bass.
Yeah.
It has a bolt-on neck. This one is not bolted on. This is what they call a dovetail, where it's actually glued on. It's a separate piece. It's not a neck through.
Yeah.
It's a separate piece, and it's glued on. And some people say it's actually stronger than a neck through. I don't know anything about basses. I really don't. There's some people that know what kind of wood, and this is, I don't know what that is. Ash or mahogany, or I don't know. I just know how I want them to feel and how I want them to sound, and I let the other people figure out how to make them. But yeah, I've been playing the Fodera since 1983.
Why Fodera though, Vic? You could play anything you want.
Yeah, being a Stanley Clarke fanatic, my second bass that I was playing, I really only had 3 basses. My first was a Univox. If you look at the cover of my album, What Did He Say?
Yeah.
I'm standing in my front yard in the woods with a bass down my back. That's my first bass, the Univox. The Univox is also pictured on the cover of my book, The Music Lesson.
Yeah.
It's my first bass. It looks like Paul McCartney's Beatle bass. My second bass was a Series 1 Alembic. I got it in Virginia at a music store called Audio Light and Musical. And they had a used one, and because Stanley still plays an Alembic, I got that. But Stanley plays a smaller version of an Alembic. The Series 1 is huge, and that's what I got. It's always been too big for me, because I've always been a short, small person. In 1983, when my brothers and I were doing some recording up in New York and New Jersey area, I was in the market for a new bass. And a wonderful guitarist named Ira Siegel He's a guy who's a studio musician. He's played with so many different people in the studio and on tour. He was working with us in the studio, and Ira said, I have friends that are making basses. Do you want me to call them? I said, yeah, have them come by. And Joey Laricella showed up at the studio with 2 basses, 2 Fodera basses. I didn't know it was their first year making basses, and they had only made a few. But I fell in love with it. It was this design, the Monarch design. And it just felt so good. Going from my large Alembic to this, being a small person, it just felt so good. And without even plugging it in, I just said, this is it. And Joey left the bass with me. He said, keep it, send me the money when you get it.
Man.
And I've never forgotten Joey and Vinny for that. So I've been using these Fodera basses, of course different models, since 1983. At the same time in the early 80s, Anthony Jackson, who's known for creating the 6-string bass, he was also working with Fodera and coming up with, the 6-string, the standard of what we now call the 6-string bass. Anthony was working with Fodera, coming up with that. And so I got to meet Anthony back then. So Anthony was with Fodera before me, but I was lucky enough to be one of the early people, early artists. Before anyone knew my name, before anyone knew Fodera's name, we were lucky to find each other.